Yo guys, it's 6:45 in the morning and I think I am. Wait, does it actually focus? God damn it. Focus. Well, doesn't show. I think I'm the first one to clear Spires 100. First in Europe, first in any server. I'm not too sure about that, but I am the first one to clear all of this, and I'll make a video about like my last two stages. Those were the most bitchy stages. Oh, it's mirrored. Nice. But yeah, I think I should go to bed. I'm a fucking degenerate. It's 6:45 in the morning and it's just... Yo, what's up guys? Clip you just saw before was, well, pretty much right after I cleared it. It was very early in the morning, so don't mind me on that. Yeah, so I'm gonna be mainly focusing at the 99 and the 100 stage for this video. I will be talking about other stages as well, which there are a spreadsheet for, and just look at the spreadsheet. It's definitely gonna help you out a lot, but I'll talk more about the spreadsheet later. But yeah, the 99 stage was really an annoying one because you had to fight a Chow with immune to attack bar gain and decrease, and then also limited to 2 harmful effects, while you also have to fight a bunch of Camillas, a bunch of Jaegers, a bunch of this, and then a whole bunch of that. This is definitely the stage where I think a lot of people were stuck. Maybe they're still stuck on this one. Yeah, as you can see, like the people that are actually tryharding for this, these 4, they are all stuck on this stage. I was the first one to clear this, and for that reason, stage 100 was not that difficult, but I think I will be making a separate video on how to clear those, like, this boss in general, like the Asmodeus. It's not difficult, you just really have to focus and know what you're doing, and then it's very doable, and you have those stages a bunch of times, so I do think it's useful to talk about those, how you can clear them, because I'm not sure, do they have the same limitation every time in all of those? Would be... good for a video? No, it's slightly different every time, but I think the mechanics are super similar. So yeah, for this video, we're going to be looking at these 2 stages. But first, I want to talk about how does it look like for where you can find your teams, because there's actually a spreadsheet for it. I didn't make that one. These are the guys that pretty much made it. In here, you have like all of the elements and also Spires. And then in Spires, you have all of the teams, what units there are per wave. And then also what teams were used by the specific players. So I'm in here for this, and I do use like a bunch of them. I didn't showcase the ones on stream from 95 plus. On the ones from 95 plus, I actually used the exact same teams as what Lucky Madman did. And those teams just worked out, were a little bit difficult, but like especially the 95 was a kind of an annoying stage. But in the end, I used the exact same teams as this. Oh no, wait, this one. The 97 was super easy. You can just push back and like super easy clear. I did it with Maximilian. That's mainly the thing. Like I did it a bunch more of like pay to win kind of style. If I could use a Maxi, I was using a Maxi just because it's a fun unit. Same for like Ritsu. Would I really need it? No, not at all. But they were just fun units, so I wanted to use them. So let's actually go to the clip, because I did actually fully record how I did my 98. I did fully record how I did my 99 and 100. And we're gonna look at those. This was my first team for the 99. So the idea was shit ton of push-ups. We can actually let this speed up like quite a bit. Oh wait, that's okay, that gets very flickering at that speed. 3 times speed, perfect. So the idea behind this was, okay, fire Cassandra. I can mention you already, Lucky Madman just cleared it later this morning. It is possible with a very similar style of team, but then without the Dark Cassandra. So there is a free-to-play option. But the idea on this whole team was I have Ming for attack bar or for buffs duration increaser. I have the Madeline for buff duration increaser and for cooldown reduction. I have the Frigate for cooldown reduction. I have the Homunculus for cooldown reduction. And with that, I can actually clear things. Plus, the Ming is pretty nice for damage as well, because you can just add in a shit ton of damage on it and then it will kind of work. I did notice at first when I was doing this stage, I had everything on Violent. They proc out at Violent at some point, and then you just start taking turns where you don't want to take turns, and that just goes very bad. So this, as you can see, I'm getting up even the Cassandra, it doesn't even show the number anymore of the buffs, because it has that many buffs. It's kind of funny. So yeah, this in the end, it does take quite a bit of time, but it is very doable. Plus, you can simply not die because there's no strips whatsoever on this whole run or like on the whole thing. Except for the last stage. The last stage does have Eludias, and with those Eludias, you can get actually stunned. So let's actually speed this up. Okay, it gets very jittering if we speed it up. Let's just click through a little bit further. Okay, still this wave. Okay, so this wave, it's pretty much the same thing. The only thing I did wrong in this one is I tried to focus down one Julian killing the other Julian. No, just switch to Julian and then it's super fine. The thing is, you might say like, oh, you're not gonna get stunned from the Julian skill 2 or anything like that. No, actually you don't, because the Homunculus skill 3, which we'll have up pretty often, does also provide that you don't have any, or that they don't really have cooldowns on their skills. So with that, they will never really go for an S2. Even if they had the Cassandra, it totally does not matter in this case. So let's go on to the place where we're at the boss, because that is one thing that was a little bit tricky. And that also made me switch my team, because it didn't work out for this one particularly. Because I would need a very good RNG moment where I would land all of the resets, and otherwise the Eludias would have a skill 3. So this is the position we're at. If I would land all of the skills over here, which I missed double on this one, if I land the bombs, it is still fine. But yeah, right now, the moment that it does that skill, it's over. So it took me very long to get there, and then it's over. So I tried that a few more times, and in this one, pretty much the same happened, probably somewhere over here. Yeah, I probably missed on this one, didn't stun it. Once again, it probably has the skills up, and then we go for it, and then poof, everything dead. Great, great, and we also missed on that one. So didn't really work out. I tried that one more time. This one also nearly at the boss again, once again. Just trying to preserve all of my cooldowns, but you see all of those buffs, man. It's insane. So, yep, can we kill it? Next one. Okay, in this case, if we land all of the debuffs, well, mainly all of the resets, we got resisted on the right one once again. Then I was like, oh, okay, I've been doing, this was literally like an hour and a half of doing this stage already just to get to this part, because getting to this point took very long, because you have to get through the Chow, or not the Chows, the Camillas, you have to get through like all of those super annoying units that just take a long time to kill. Douglas take a long time to kill, all of that takes a long time to kill, and then, yeah, you're here, dead. So that's why I switched up the team, and I switched up to a Zibala instead of a Frigate. In this case, you have to be very precise of boosting the 2 units on the right, because you always wanted to boost the unit that was closest to its cooldown once again. So you can't just always spam the Zibala S2 towards one unit. I was actually switching them back and forth, probably messing up quite a few times, but that was the idea behind that. Plus, at the final stage, I could start with a stun. And starting with a stun was very much crucial for this whole thing. So I was on Violent here, and I did have things like Violent proc out from time to time. So that's actually where I made this team later to full Swift. Let's see if this was the case. Yeah, this is the case where I think this unit just procced out too many times. I think there was one crucial proc where it just didn't work out. If we speed that up, let's see where it goes. Okay, still has 4 turns. Gets a Violent proc. Is on 2 turns right now. I don't have any cooldowns up. I have to reset that thing. If this thing procs right now, it's going to die. So, yep, procced. And then you're dead. So, for that reason, make everything Swift, because this didn't work out. Okay, so then I made everything Swift, and yeah, it's pretty much smooth sailing. We have seen the first few stages, but let's actually zoom into the boss stage. I was nervous as fuck on the boss stage, like, not gonna lie. I really took my time of placing all of my hits in, because that just... man, this thing, you have to freeze everything. Didn't manage to freeze everything, but we did reset everything with those 2 skills. And then from here, I was just like, okay, should I increase cooltime already? Nope, going for a hit. Still going for the Endure later, because the Endure is the one that you want to prolong. And then we just go in for the hits from there. So in this case, was also, okay, I don't really need the things yet. So you do really have to think when to use stuff, when not to use stuff. And yeah, as long as you get like enough cooldown reducers on the, or reduces on the Eludias, it's kind of fine. But as you can see, I'm dropping quite some damage on this Chow already. And this, the only way you're gonna clear this stage is with Chows. That is, or with Chows, with, the only way you're gonna clear this Chow is with Endure. That's what we noticed so far. You could go for Invis, but we have noticed that there's better AoE providers of Endure in the game than Invis, so you don't right away, because otherwise you have to use a Shizuka, and then Shizuka is not really the best of units for this stage itself. So for that reason, Shizuka is not really the best position. Right after this one, this clear, I will also showcase how Lucky Madman did it if you want to do it free to play. He actually did it full free to play, which is definitely nice. But it's always with these things like someone else clears it in a certain way, and from that you kind of get an idea like, okay, how can you clear it? So I was like, okay, if I just land this right now, I kill it, nice. So that was 99 done. This was definitely the hardest stage where a lot of people were stuck on for quite a little bit of time. And this was the team of Lucky Madman. Pretty much similar idea with the buff prolongers. Endur as in Fedora. And then he had a Daphnis, which is actually pretty smart as well, because Daphnis does good damage to the boss no matter what, because of just his passive in the skill 3, where it just does a good amount of damage, so it doesn't actually have to do a lot of damage. I definitely do think it would clear the waves pretty fast. Camillas, it will definitely still take a little bit of time, but I do think it's doable. And it's shorter in cooldown than, for example, a Katarina or something like that. Plus, you have the skill 2 of increased cool time as well. So there's a whole bunch of things where Daphnis is super smart in here, because at the final stage, I could have cleared it with the team that I showcased on the first few tries. It was possible, but it just didn't work out because I needed you to land everything. Now you have this thing as a backup. That definitely does help out quite a bit. So definitely a very smart team for this one. Then there is the 100 stage. Does look a little bit daunting. It does have harmful effect 1 turn and attack by increasing. You do have a bunch of Lucifers plus Jacksons, which get a lot of attack bar. Then we have some Douglas Mollies, which is definitely toxic combination as well. And then the final boss. So first I tried a team with Ritsu and stuff, didn't really work out. It is decent to get through the boss, or no wait, it was an issue to get through the molly. So I tried this a little bit. Ritsu was very good at stopping the turns from the Lucifers and not dying to those, but it just doesn't do too much the moment you get to mollies, because mollies, they heal an insane amount. Their healing is so fucking huge, you really have to do something else than that. So that's where we got to Bolfrix. It is a little bit tricky to get through the first stage with the Lucifers. You just kind of have to get a rotation where you don't get hit too much too hard. I do use Nigong. Nigong is very easily replaceable by Jade, which is the pure vanilla cookie wind. Or no, not the pure vanilla cookie, the Madeline cookie wind. Is that Madeline cookie? I think it is. No, Hollyberry cookie. I had all of the cookies right now. Hollyberry Cookie Wind, that one is a lot better, I would say. It also has cool time reducers, that is very nice. It has the defense buff, it has like a whole bunch of stuff like that. I would say that that is better than Nigong in here, but the Nigong skill 2 actually does provide quite some damage, which does make it pretty nice. So in this case, this stage is not that difficult, just have to be careful that the Douglases don't start branding and then super hard hitting on one unit. And then it's just a typical figure. I had everything like 280 speed, Fio, something like that. But yeah, this stage is definitely pretty doable for itself. I would say the Lucifer one is a little bit tricky to get through, because the Lucifer one, I actually was saving the Bolfric heal for a second rotation, because you do get a lot of hits in from those Lucifers. I did have to redo it a few times because I actually messed up on the boss. And I will be making a very specific video for how to clear the boss, because it is not necessarily hard, but you have to know what you're doing. So just in short, what you actually do in here is every time that you hit the side crystals, they will jump one to the right, and then the most right goes to the left. And if they are not on the same element, the boss will do like 300% extra damage. That is really not that chill. So you always have to hit those crystals, plus the moment you hit one of those crystals, they will do a special skill of their thing. There's one but to it though, which I actually forgot during this first playthrough, is that the moment that you're hitting wind, you might glance it, and if you glance it, it's not going to count as a hit, so it's not going to switch. But the count that you have over here still goes up the moment it goes for 10 counts and you hit one of the side crystals, boss takes an instant turn. So yeah, there's just a bunch of things to it where you have to keep in mind where I did it wrong. I think it was right over there where I did it wrong. Wait. I think it's one further back. Yeah, in this case. So here it is. Oh wait, I just didn't switch it. I'm not sure why. So I didn't switch it, and then the Nigong gets a pretty hard hit. If they switch to the same element, you don't have to touch it. It's very simple, very chill. The damage that I was mainly doing was a Wusa skill 2, and then a little bit of chip damage from this thing, because this thing doesn't do as much damage, but I was still doing some damage or something like that. And then you also had the Nigong skill 2 damage, which definitely helped out. Yeah, and here I made the mess up thing, like you have to hit it twice if you hit the wrong one. So you definitely don't want to hit the wrong one, because then the element goes up pretty fast. Plus what you have is that the skill that it does can provoke. So with the provoke, it's definitely very tricky. I did actually still continue to play this one out. I did get pretty close until I made a mess up at a later moment because I had to hit a wind element, but right now the only unit that can actually hit the wind element is this thing, which isn't that great, and for that reason it just didn't work out. But as you can see, this fight is super long. This is at 4 times speed and it's still taking forever, right? So yeah, this fight's just super long. I do know that I failed at some point on this stage because I missed one of those. But I'll be making a specific video of all of the mechanics of this boss and how to tackle it. Once again, if you want to do it without Nigong, just use the Holly Berry Wind, that thing. It's very strong for this. So this is the one time that I did actually clear it. And you can see, wait, can I do it faster without, okay, it gets very jittery if I go for ×8 speed. But yeah, as you can see, the boss, as long as you do the mechanics right, it doesn't do all too much. Like, it's not hitting that hard. It's really about using the mechanics right rather than this boss actually being hard. There is at some point a moment where you might have to get with the count going up and you have to hit it at a wrong time where you just don't have immunity and it would hit hard. Yeah, that could be a thing, but I would definitely say with the Jade in there, with the defense buff, it would probably... I think she's called Jade. I might be like calling her wrong that the Pure... No, wait. Pure Vanilla Cookie is Angela, so she should be Jade. So yeah, that's definitely a thing. That is definitely very nice. And yeah, this fight is just taking super long. Like, every time I went in this fight, I had to take like 500 turns at this boss, just at this boss. Really focused on like, okay, what element? Okay, what does it switch into? How does it switch into? What do we go next for? And then every time like, okay, it's wind element right now. I have to hit wind element. I only do that with Nigong or the Dongbeak. Okay, once again, this time I have to hit wind. Wind you can actually hit with a Wooster skill too as well, but you're wasting damage. So every time, this one is just simple. It goes fire into water, so we can easily hit that. But the moment that you hit fire, you actually get an armor break. So I was mainly abusing the Bolfric for that one. It's like, if Bolfric dies, I really don't care, because I give attack bar up to the boss anyway, so I don't really mind it. Plus, you have to keep in mind, this skill hurts. This counter, if this skill without immunity, hurts. So there's just a whole bunch of things that are very deadly. So I wasn't always going right away for the switch. It was just kind of like, okay, what are every individual time you just check, okay, what do I have to hit? How does it look like? And what can I hit? And this fight is just, it's more of like a mental drain that you really have to pay attention. What are you hitting? When are you hitting it? How are you hitting it? The Borflick skill 3, I actually tried it on the side crystals, but they apparently have 0 HP, so you do 0 damage. And it doesn't count as a hit. Would have been very nice if that did count as a hit, would make things a little bit easier, but... And in most cases, if I could use, I would use Bolfric to hit the side things, because Bolfric was just doing the least. Could you replace Bolfric? I don't really think so. I think Bolfric and Wusa are super hard to replace in here. I think Wusa is insanely good in here. In other stages where the waves are easier, I would say Veromos is pretty good because of the provoke and just removing the provoke. But in this case, I didn't really have the luxury of that. Plus, there's just a lot of damage coming in from Wusa, so that definitely helps out. And that's where we cleared floor 100, which was actually world's first 100 clear. Lucky Madman also did show me that he cleared it exactly with that Jade in there. He actually went for an accuracy on this one. It's pretty smart, I would say, because then this accuracy for Vigor is a lot higher, which definitely does help out for skill 1s on Mollies. And you have higher accuracy on this thing, so you can just go pure on stats on this. So accuracy lead is actually pretty nice. Might be better than just a few HP leads in there. So yeah, that is it for this video. Probably the video of tomorrow is going to be how to tackle this Asmodeus thing in like more in depth of how to tackle it, which units are good, and yeah, just that will be, I guess, a short video. Either out, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I do know that a lot of people don't really are invested in this content, but yeah, maybe they'll upgrade the rewards at some point and then people get there and then maybe you enjoy it. Also, let me know in the comments, what do you think they should change to this content for you to be interested in this content video? Either out, hope you enjoyed this video. See you as always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab, which has the dungeon guide archive and the video guide archive, which contains all of the guides that you need. Hope to see you there.